So it's been a while since I've been speaking English. I decided to record myself right now because recently I relaunched my Twitter account, which I've been investing my time into for like half a year, and I had a break because I didn't quite get the results I wanted. Even though the results were fine, I wasn't quite satisfied with them because I wanted to have clients, and I already wanted to work with people and make money, which in my niche it's not that easy to do since people need to recognize you first. They need to have a certain amount of trust for you, and they need to know what they get themselves into. I guess that's the reason I'm recording this video. And if the wind is blowing, I hope it will be fine for you and you won't be you won't have any problem with that. I'll try to cover the wind a little bit. So what I'm trying to do is start by recording this kind of videos and just building my presence online, so people get to know me and get to trust me for it's been a while since I felt the urge to just share my thoughts and teach what I've learned, because my journey been quite interesting, and I'm saying this as a character which is playing this journey, and it's been interesting for me, not only for others. Of course, there's been also some moments where I'm feeling bored and I'm not quite getting the satisfaction out of life which I want, but it's temporary. I mean, I don't lose myself entirely in this world, and I'm grasping more and more of what I truly want here and from myself. That's something that I see people are not getting much these days, so I want to share what has helped me and what can help you to become more of a version you want to be and get more out of life which you really want. I'll start by grounding this idea in some solid mind frames and materialistic rules. So the mind frame which has helped me a lot is just improving. You should focus on improving yourself gradually, patiently, not trying to do everything at once, because that's where the resistance can become too great and you can fall under the weight of your desired life, because actually the life which you desire, the version of yourself which you want to be, requires some capacities of your character, of your emotional resilience, maybe even physical strength. And all these things are built within a certain amount of time, which is not, it's not that quick. It's not like you just jump from one place to another. You have to endure the journey. And I know that's not a sexy response, and not a sexy way to put that. If you want to achieve something, you simply need to work on it, right? Everybody is talking the same, and I'm not different. But I'm saying this because this is what I realized, not only mentally but also like through life. This is what I experienced. This is what I learned through these years of improving myself. So this is something you have to be patient and willing to learn, willing to see it for yourself, that it is fundamentally true. Sometimes I think I can do everything, right? Like there is no boundaries. But I also remember that there is part of me that doesn't fully believe in that yet. So that's also a limitation which we might be taught to keep in ourselves, but this is a limitation with which we feed. Where I'm going with this is that yes, you can do everything, but what you need to learn is believe that you can do it, and repeat trying to achieve it. Just repeat the action which will bring you into the result. So patience, repetition, and belief. This is quite a it's quite vague, but and I guess a lot of people already heard that. I'm not like it's not a new theory or a new lesson. It's just something that you need to learn on your own, because that's the biggest limitation is knowing something, but only knowing, not really exercising this knowledge is this is what holds us back, actually, because we can know something is bad for us or something is good for us, but we still do otherwise, and obviously that's detrimental. So the next thing which I brought up was physical call it. So the physical system, which kept me improving. I think it has to be sports. So recently I've been really into weightlifting. Maybe that's something you enjoy and something that brings you the desired version of you. Maybe it's not. I've also been learning martial arts. I've been training martial arts for a while, but right now I have a break because I'm building more strength and mass. It can be running for you, it can be cycling, it can be swimming. What I'm saying is that you need to move. It can be even walking like I'm doing right now. Because movement is what gives us energy. I know it's quite unintuitive or quite it's not quite something that would our mind think, because we are taught that by moving we use the energy. Of course, some part of that is true, but also by moving we create the energy, we breathe and give our body the oxygen it needs. Especially the fresh air is something that is one of the most energizing thing that you can get. Now, another thing is sun. So there are extra points for moving outside during the day. Well, not only oxygen and the sun gives us energy, but also the effort to move our muscles and to transport the certain nutrients and elements which our body needs through the lymphatic system, through our blood. And of course, even when we sleep, when we don't move, the blood moves, but the lymphatic system is quite the contrary, because it needs movement, it needs the contraction of our muscles. So I'm not gonna get any more technical here. It's just saying that if you try sports, I don't have to explain this to you, because you know that it actually is energizing, not only for your body but also for your mind. The cognitive functions get far better when we exercise. Our strength of will increases. I got really deep into that one, and I know it can be cliche. So another system is presence, exercises that improves our presence. So the physical ones are actually the ones I already brought up. So physical training also improves our presence, but there are things that doesn't necessarily require movement, quite contrary of that. So meditation meditation in peace, in silence, I mean, and without movement. So you get into a position that is comfortable for you. Either it's laying, but laying is quite hard for meditation for me personally. I would encourage you to try the adapters or the beginner's pose, which is like on your knees and just putting a pillow. The best is meditation pillow because it's the most comfortable. You put this pillow beneath your butt, you sit on it like you sit on your knees, or the next position is lotus. I think it's called lotus position, something like that. Lotus or the half lotus, because the one where you cross your legs, like you put the one leg onto another, and yeah, it's quite hard, especially if you are not very flexible. So meditation is very large topic, but I had a conversation about it 2 days ago with a friend of my cousin, which I think he's around 18, and somehow we started talking about meditation. He said that he already heard something about this topic, but got discouraged through these explanations that he saw on TikTok or whatever. So the thing I explained to him is meditation is kind of like you have exercises for the body. The meditation is the exercise for the mind, for your consciousness, or just awareness. I think the best term here is for your presence, because you are here right now, you listen to these words, you feel certain emotions, certain sensations, but there's also a part of you that is like automatical, and you quite doesn't control this part of you because it's operating in your unconscious part. The unconscious part is something that we either we are addicted to it, or we just got used to doing this certain thing. So actually what I'm saying here can be called a habit. Something you do habitually can be called done unconsciously. Not necessarily, but I think that's the most of the times. So what I'm saying is that you exercise your decision process. So I think most of people, they just They just react, and they choose unconsciously. They choose habitually, automatically. And I think it's wrong, because most of our habits are destructive, especially in the younger generation. The people I got to know prove this theory which I'm saying. So through this presence training, we become more aware of the things that we do, of the things that we think, of the things that we feel. And that's how you really start to improve, is just becoming more aware where your life is going, where your attention is flowing. Because what you feed with your attention, like watering a plant, your attention grows things, feeds them. So your attention is your energy. It's your time. It's where you spend your consciousness, your life on. So the next step, actually, for me, after discovering meditation, was prayer. And a book that I have to brought up here is Neville Goddard. Either Feeding is Secret, which is really short and a quick book to read, but the whole 14 books collection, it's like the Lux collection it's called, I believe, something like that. The whole collection was like 500 pages, and yeah, I've read it once, and I wanted to read it ever since another time. So it's still, I feel there's still a lot of things I can learn from it, even though I already read it and I already exercised what was said there. I still feel like I need to read it again, but the key principles which I learned from that book is that your awareness creates things. So what you decide to believe, what you decide to perceive, because the perception is dependent upon what you choose to do with the certain situation. Societies and education system has put us into this mind frame that we don't really have a choice, that we just react to the outer world, where it's completely the opposite. The world reacts to you, not the other way around. And I know it might not be that easy to grasp at first, but you have to realize this, because if you don't, you'll be just trapped in your habits, in what has already happened. So you doesn't really live, you react. So prayer is another practice that really helped me, and I know I've called it physical, because it's quite physical, but it's also mental and emotional. prayer is quite the prayer which I'm trying to show you, explain to you, is quite different from the prayer which, for example, Christianity, most of the parts of Christianity were trying to impress upon were trying to impress upon the Christian religious people, because there are many Christians which are they quite get the teaching of Jesus, and they didn't fall into praying to something that is outside of them, or the God that is like is giving something to you. I think that's wrong. I'm not saying that there is no God, but I'm saying that this kind of prayer doesn't work. And if it does, it works only because you believe it does. No, it's a quite bold statement, but I hope you will realize this as well, because you can't disprove that everything turns out the way it does because you believe it is that way. You cannot disprove it. So prayer actually is the act of the practice of believing the reality which you actually want to experience, which you desire to experience. And not only planting yourself into the mind of the version of yourself, or the consciousness of yourself that already has what you ask or what you desire for, but also feeling it emotionally. And I'm not gonna say spiritually, but it also has some kind of depth to it. The spiritual part is quite deep, because we get the emotional part and the mental part, but what we don't get is that there is a spirit within us that is guiding all of this. There's a part of us that decides to do a certain thing with this vessel, with this avatar. So this part is there, and it can be conditioned. I mean, it cannot be fully conditioned, but it can be made. It can be shaped into believing a certain truth or a certain system. But it can always break the system. It can always break the pattern. I'm saying that we are fully free. We are fully free, and our will, I believe, our will is infinite. It's not restricted. Also, the possibilities are unlimited. I truly believe this, because I feel this is true. I experienced the emotions, the state of mind, which can be called unlimited. But that's a topic for another recording. So prayer is the exercise of your will, of your consciousness. Meditation is observing the consciousness, understanding it, and prayer actually is the active part of exercising or of using your being to create. Yeah, I think I quite explained it in a way I wanted to. So these three systems: sports / training, physical training, meditation / the awareness training, and prayer / creation or being training. Being meaning the state of you, of your being, of your belief, is what creates your life. It does not only create your thoughts and emotions, it actually results in the physical. And I know I can't prove it to you otherwise than saying that this is what I believe, this is what I experienced, and this is what I believe is the ultimate truth. And the only way of truly believing it is experiencing it for yourself. So the one practical advice which I'm giving you right now is to try. Is to try and see it for yourself, because why not? What do you have to lose? It's not some kind of witchcraft or diabolical or demonical thing. It's just what was given to us by the Creator, by the universe, by God, or whoever you would like to, or however you would like to call it. So try and see for yourself. For one time, try to erase the doubts. Do not feed the thoughts, the emotions, the perceptions that do not bring you the life you want. Perception is what you perceive right now, is what you see and what you make out of it. So I'd say that everything around you is raw. It's like mold, not mold, but clay. So everything around is like clay, and this clay is shaped through what you decide it needs to be shaped into. Or you can call it everything is made out of consciousness, and everything around you, I believe even inside you, even your body, is shaped by the consciousness in which you actively are right now. See it for yourself. Give yourself a week, 2 or a month, and try to erase doubts, erase the version of you that doesn't believe in that. It's quite simple. And if you've been listening carefully, I've already told you everything is possible. And it's all a matter of will and your decision. So I hope this helps you and you find yourself, you create yourself a reality which you'll be proud of.